Cleveland Indians baseball. We are at Tiger Stadium in Detroit on Friday night. This is the first nighttime edition of Indians baseball this season. Cleveland Indians take on the Detroit Tigers. Cleveland Indians are in second place in the American League East with a record of 14 and 10. They're 2.5 games behind the league leading Baltimore Orioles. While Detroit is in last place in the AL East with a record of 9 and 16, they're 8 games behind Baltimore. This week, Cleveland split a two-game series against the Yankees, winning on Tuesday night 4-3 as Gaylord Perry outpitched Steve Kline. And then on Wednesday, the Yankees won the second game 5-1 as Fritz Peterson outpitched Milt Wilcox. Wilcox had struggled in the fourth inning, giving up 3 runs, and that was basically all that Peterson needed. He pitched the 4-hitter against the Indians. And then Steve Hargan in relief gave up a pair of solo home runs, one to Bobby Mercer and one to pinch hitter Bernie Allen. Detroit this week actually beat Baltimore 2 out of 3. And then last night, Boston came to Detroit for one day to make up the game that was rained out the day after the opener. Detroit is struggling though right now. Let's see. They've lost 7 of their last 9. And Billy Martin is seeing what he could do. He's getting reasonably good starting pitching, it looks like. But they're not hitting very well. Detroit has probably the oldest hitters in baseball. They have a lot of guys whose career with the Tigers goes back to the early 60s. All right, we're going to take a short break and be right back with the starting lineups. It's Friday night, May 19th, 1972. We're at Tiger Stadium in Detroit as the Indians and the Tigers meet for the first time this season. Dick Tidrow starts for Cleveland. He's made 6 starts. He's 2-3 with an ERA of 4.10. He'll be opposed by Tom Timmerman. He's made 6 starts. He's 1-3 with an ERA of 4.69. Frank Duffy of the Indians has a 10-game hitting streak. It's 69 degrees here in Detroit. Wind speed is 14 miles per hour out to center field. Cleveland Indians starting lineup will be leading off the center fielder Del Unser, batting second the first baseman Chris Chambliss, batting third the third baseman Greg Nettles. Batting fourth, the hot-hitting left fielder Tom McCraw. Batting fifth, the shortstop Frank Duffy. He's hot right now. Batting sixth, the right fielder Buddy Bell. Batting seventh, the catcher Ray Fosse. Batting eighth, the second baseman Jack Brohammer. And batting ninth, the pitcher Dick Tidrow. On defense, Detroit has Norm Cash at first base, Dick McAuliffe at second, Ed Brinkman at short, Aurelio Rodriguez at third, Gates Brown in left field, Mickey Stanley in center, Al Kaline in right, Bill Freehan catching, and on the mound, Tom Timmerman. Tom Timmerman, fastball, curveball pitcher, mixes it up pretty well. .40 in the third innings, he's given up 39 hits, and 8 of those have been home runs. For the past 3 seasons, he was a relief pitcher for Detroit. In fact, he had 22 saves in 1970. And this season, Billy Martin decided to make him part of the starting rotation. He's been in 6 games this year. He started all 6 of those. He has 1 complete game. And spoiler alert, Tom Timmerman, future member of the Cleveland Indians. Leading off is the center fielder Del Unser. Unser's hitting .214, no home runs, and 7 runs batted in. Yeah, we're Tiger Stadium, where for whatever reason the Indians never seem to play well here. I do have one roster note that Phil Hennigan was activated from the disabled list yesterday, and Adolfo Phillips was sent down to Portland to make room for Hennigan. Cleveland's won 8 of their last 10. They're having a good season right now. That's ball 1. It's grounded at first. Cash is up with it, and he'll take it himself. 1 out. Last weekend, Cleveland swept Texas at home. That was the second consecutive weekend series that they had swept. They had swept Chicago the weekend before that. Here's Chris Chambliss, the first baseman. He's hitting .303. He has no home runs and 7 runs batted in. He was the Rookie of the Year last season. The 1-2 pitch. Base hit in the right center. McAuliffe couldn't get to that one. And Kaline throws it back in. So runner at first, 1 out. That brings up Greg Nettles, who's hitting .248, 3 home runs and 14 runs batted in. The Indians' hitting has been a little inconsistent this year. They not hitting as well as Ken Aspermani would like, but their pitching's been decent, pretty decent, especially compared to last year. Fastball, too low, ball 1. High and outside, that was ball 2. He looked at strike 1 on the changeup. Too high, ball 3. Low and outside, ball 4. That brings up hot hitting Tom McCraw. He's hitting .390, 6 home runs, 17 runs batted in. He had a stretch where he hit a home run in 4 straight games, and 3 of those home runs were as a pinch hitter. That was up and in, ball 1. Too high, ball 2. Strike 1 called. Liner down the first base line, that's foul. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Ball 3, full count. Tom McCraw has a 6-game hitting streak. He had a spurt as a pinch hitter going in a defensive replacement, going 5 for 6. One of those 5 hits was a double, and the other 4 were home runs. Foul tip. Count remains full. Fouls it back. Free hands after it, but it makes the seats. It's a fly ball in the right field. K-line's back. He's at the wall. That's out of play. Grounder back to the box. Timmerman to second for 1 to first. Double play. 1-4-6 or 1-4-3 double play. Cleveland got no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They left 1 man on base. We go to the bottom of the first. Cleveland nothing. Detroit's coming to bat. Detroit's starting lineup will be leading off the second baseman, Dick McAuliffe. Batting second, the third baseman, Aurelio Rodriguez. Batting third, the first baseman, Norm Cash. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Al Kaline. Batting fifth, the left fielder, Gates Brown. Batting sixth, the catcher, Bill Freehan. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Mickey Stanley. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Ed Brinkman. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Tom Timmerman. Of those 9, the only one who is still in his 20s is Aurelio Rodriguez, who's 25. On defense, Cleveland has Chris Chambliss at first, Jack Brohammer at second, Frank Duffy at shortstop, Greg Nettles at third, Tom McCraw in left, Del Unser in center, Buddy Bell in right, Ray Fosse at catching, and on the mound, Dick Tidrow. Tidrow's a fastball pitcher. This is, I believe, his 6th start. A 7th start. His last start was against Texas on Sunday. He pitched a complete game shutout, holding them to 3 hits. Dick McAuliffe leads off. He's hitting .172 with 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in. Changeup. Oh, he got hit. That bounced right off his helmet. Tidrow is the only pitcher on Cleveland's staff that is shorter than 6 feet. That'll bring up Aurelio Rodriguez. He's hitting .235, 3 home runs, and 14 runs batted in. He came over at the beginning of, in time for the 1970 season, along with Joe Coleman in the Denny McLain deal that sent Denny McLain and Elliot Maddox to Washington, now Texas, and McLean has moved on from the Rangers. He's pitching with Oakland now, and he's on the disabled list. Rodriguez got his start in California with the Angels. And Ted Williams was very unhappy when Aurelio Rodriguez got traded from Washington. It's a line drive right back to second. Brohammer's there, and he's got it for the first out. Brings up Norm Cash. Cash is hitting .224, 6 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Norm Cash was the property of the Cleveland Indians for a few days back in the offseason between 1959 and 1960. Cleveland obtained him from the White Sox and then dealt him to Detroit, and he's been a fixture with the Tigers ever since 1960. He was the MVP of the World Series in 1963. Fouls it back, strike one. Ooh, Tidrow just hit Cash on the ankle. So 2 runners on this inning, both hit by pitches. That brings up Al Kaline, who's hitting .345, 4 home runs, 10 runs batted in. Kaline was the MVP in 1963, the year that the Tigers last won the World Series. He came to Detroit as a bonus baby in 1953, and he's been a fixture of the Tigers ever since then. He's never played a day in the minors. He is 195 hits away from his 3,000th hit. He also has a career number of 405 home runs. He got his 400th at the end of last season. He's having a good year this year. He's hitting .368 against right-handers. It's off to a good start this year. High and outside, just barely. Ball 1. Ball 2. Grounder to short. This could be 2. To second for 1. To first. Double play. 6-4-3 double play. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We played 1 inning here in Detroit. No score. Frank Duffy leads off for the Indians in the second. He's hitting .348. No home runs. 8 runs batted in. He has a 10-game hitting streak right now. And he is hitting .479 in the month of May. Duffy came over from San Francisco with Gaylord Perry in the trade for Sam McDowell. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Brings up the rookie Buddy Bell. Bell's hitting .216. No home runs, 7 runs batted in. Duffy's breaking for second. Bell hits fly ball in right field. Kaline's there. He's got it. 1 out. That brings up the catcher, Ray Fosse. Fosse's hitting .159, 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in. Fossey's been struggling in May. He's 5 for 47 in the month of May with 2 home runs. Low, ball 1. Inside, ball 2. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Just missed that one, ball 3. Grounder to first. Cash to second for 1. To first. Double play. 3-6-3 double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. Go to the bottom of the second. No score in Detroit. For the Tigers in the second will be Gates Brown, Bill Freehan, and Mickey Stanley. Gates Brown is hitting .208, 4 home runs, 9 runs batted in. He's hitting .216 against right-handers. The 3-1 pitch. Fly ball in the right field. Buddy Bell drifting back. He's at the track, and he's got it for 1 out. It brings up Bill Freehan, who's hitting .275, 2 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Billy Martin can't say enough good things about Bill Freehan. Freehan's one of his favorite players. He had .290 last season in Martin's first year managing Detroit. Had 19 home runs. He drove in 83 runs. And he's off to a good start this year. Sitting .326 in May. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 1 for Tidrow. That brings up Mickey Stanley, who's sitting .162 with no home runs and 7 runs batted in. Ooh, foul ball. That was right off of Fossey's mask. They're going to give him a minute to make sure everything's all there. Here's the pitch. Fly ball in the left field. Tom McCraw going back. He's at the wall. That's off the wall. Mickey Stanley with a stand-up double. That brings up Ed Brinkman, the shortstop. He's hitting .242, 1 home run, 5 runs batted in. Ed Brinkman was a high school teammate of Pete Rose. Always loves to bring up the fact that he got a bigger bonus when he signed his first baseball contract. He got a bigger bonus than Rose got. Brinkman was an original member of the Washington Senators in 1971. I think he was the last of the original Senators to leave the team after he got traded at the end of the 1970 season. His batting average went up significantly after he had Ted Williams as a manager. He's gone from a good field, no hit reputation, a good field, not that bad a hitter. Sitting .260 in May. Low and away, ball 1. It's a fly ball in the left field. McCraw drifting over, he's got it. 3 outs. Brinkman was another guy, along with Rodriguez, that Ted Williams was very unhappy that the Senators traded. There was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 2 here in Detroit, no score. For the Indians in the 3rd inning, it will be Jack Brohammer, Dick Tidrow, and Del Unser. Brohammer's hitting .091, no home runs, 2 runs batted in. Brohammer got off to a rough start. He went 1 for 23 in April. This is his first year in the majors. He's picked it up a little bit. He's hitting 143 in May. And he's starting to hit the ball a little bit better. He's working out, getting some walks. He hasn't had a strikeout in 2 weeks, over 2 weeks. And he's gotten hits in 4 of his last 8 games. Aspermonte likes him, and his fellow second baseman, Eddie Leone, is already asking to be traded to a team where he could play every day. The 1-1 pitch. Bouncer right back to the mound. Timmerman throws him out. 1 out. That brings up Dick Tidrow. He is 1 for 11 as a hitter on the season. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's strikeout number 1 for Timmerman. And that brings up Del Unser, who's 0 for 1 today. He grounded a cash in the first inning. The 0-1 pitch. Base hit in the right field. Here's Chris Chambliss. He singled in the first. That was the Indians' first hit of the day. Or the evening, rather. That was on the inside of the part of the plate. Strike 1. Too high, ball 1. Right down the middle, strike 2. Throw to first, Unser's back. It's ground ball to second. McAuliffe throws to first. He's out. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the third here in Detroit. No score. It'll be Timmerman, the pitcher, McAuliffe, and Rodriguez in the third for Detroit. Timmerman is 1 for 14 as a hitter on the season. The 0-1 pitch. Base hit in the left field. It's his second hit of the season. That brings up Dick McAuliffe. He was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Too low, ball 1. Hits a sharp grounder to third. Nettles to second for 1. To first. Double play. 5-4-3 double play. That's a second double play for Cleveland today. Detroit also has 2. That brings up Aurelio Rodriguez. He's 0 for 1. He lined out to Jack Brohammer in the first inning. The 0-1 pitch. Base hit in the right field. Bell tosses it back in. That's hit number 3 for Detroit. Here's Norm Cash. Norm Cash. Stormin Norman. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Caught the inside corner, strike 1. Ball 1. In there at the knee, strike 2. Up around his chin, ball 2. Foul tip. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Curveball, grounder up the middle. Brohammer to his right. Has it. Throws him out. 3 outs. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, no one left. We played 3 quick innings here in Detroit. No score. Take a look around the league. Top of the 4th in Philadelphia. The red-hot New York Mets lead the Phillies 1-0. That is Jim McAndrew for the Mets against Steve Carlton for the Phillies. Top of the 3rd in Pittsburgh. The Expos lead the Pirates 3-0. That's Craig Morton against Bob Moose. And the top of the 2nd at Yankee Stadium. Red Sox and Yankees tied at 2. Danny Cater hit his first home run of the year for Boston. That's Ray Culp against Mel Stottlemyre. Culp and Stottlemyre each looking for their first win of the year. Culp is 0-3. Stottlemyre is 0-6. This is WJST in Parma, Norwich, and Tuscaloosa. Following tonight's game will be the local news. And then Houlihan and Big Chuck have a big double feature tonight. Strangers at Sunrise at midnight. That's from 1969, a movie made in South Africa. Dean Martin's daughter appears in it. She was in a nude scene in that movie. Causes South African authorities to be all a Twitter about it. And at 2 a.m. is a British comedy, Dentist in the Chair, from 1960. I have to admit, I had to look up both of these movies. I had never heard of either one of them. And I was kind of surprised that I was able to find the Houlihan and Big Chuck's movie schedule for this evening. But stick around for that. That'll be on after the local news. Greg Nettles leads off in the 4th. He walked last time up. The 1-2 pitch. He hits a fly ball in the center field. Mickey Stanley drifting in. He's got it. 1 out. Here's Tom McCraw. He's 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play in the 1st. He's a 6-game hitting streak going on. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball in the left field. Gates Brown is there, and he's got it. 2 outs. Frank Duffy's up. He has a 10-game hitting streak. He walked in the 2nd inning. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball in the right field. K-line drifting back, has it. 3 outs, nothing across for Cleveland in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. No score. It'll be the heart of the order for Detroit in the 4th. K-line, Brown, and Freehan. Al K-line's 0 for 1 today. He grounded into a double play in the 1st inning. The 3-1 pitch. Low and away, ball 4. That's the first walk given up today by Tidrow. That brings up Gates Brown, who's 0 for 1. He flied to Buddy Bell in the 2nd inning. In there below the belt, strike 1. That was a changeup. Too high, ball 1. Brown hits base hit in the right field. K-line holds at 2nd. He's not going to try to run on Buddy Bell's arm. Runners at 1st and 2nd, nobody out. That brings up Bill Freehan, who's 0 for 1. He struck out in the 2nd inning. High and outside, ball 1. Caught the inside corner, strike 1. Way outside, ball 2. Base hit in the right field. Bell's up with it. K-line holds it 3rd. That'll load the bases with nobody out. And it brings up Mickey Stanley. He 1 for 1. He doubled in the 2nd inning. Fastball hit the inside corner, strike one. Popped it up, third base side. Nettles is after it, but that'll make the seats. Strike three called. Second strikeout of the game for Tidrow. That brings up Ed Brinkman, who's 0 for 1. He flied out to Tom McCraw in the second inning. He's hitting 197 against right-handers this year. It's a shallow fly ball in the left field. McCraw coming in, Duffy going back. McCraw has it. And Kaline will hold at third. That brings up the pitcher, Tom Timmerman, who's 1 for 1. He singled in the third. Swing and a miss, strike one on the fastball. Ball one. Another base hit in the left field. Kaline scores. Brown scores. Freehand stops at second. It's 2-0 Detroit. Timmerman, he's 2 for 2 tonight. That brings up Dick McAuliffe. He's 0 for 1 and he was hit by a pitch. Strike one called on a curveball. Strike two called. Strike three called. Strikeout number 3 for Timmerman, but Detroit gets 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We played 4 innings here in Detroit. It is the Tigers 2, the Indians nothing. Buddy Bell leads off for Cleveland in the 5th. He's 0 for 1. He flied to Kaline in the second. Kaline was driven to the warning track. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Grounder to second. McAuliffe has it. Throws him out. 1 out. Here's Ray Fosse. He's 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play in the second inning. 3-1 pitch. High and outside. Ball 4. That brings up Jack Brohammer, who's 0 for 1. He grounded to Timmerman in the third inning. Hits a grounder to third. Rodriguez to second for 1. The throw to first. Not in time. 2 outs. Brohammer's on first. The fielder's choice. They couldn't turn the double play. Here's Dick Tidrow. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the third inning. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Got the inside corner. Strike 2. Strike 3. He chased a pitch out of the zone. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's an official game here at Tiger Stadium. Detroit leads 2-0. Relio Rodriguez leads off for the Tigers in the 5th. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the third. The 0-2 pitch. Swing. He tipped it, but Fosse held on. Strike 3. Brings up Norm Cash. He's 0 for 1, and he was hit by a pitch. The 2-0 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Base hit. That's hit number 7 for Detroit. That brings up Al Kaline. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Fouls it back. Strike 1. Swing and a miss on a curveball. Strike 2. Liner into left field. McCraw after it. He dives. He's got it. Nice catch by Tom McCraw. 2 outs. That brings up Gates Brown, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the 4th. He singled and he scored in the fourth. Inside, ball one on the fastball. Fouls it back. Strike one. Fly ball down the left field line. That's foul. At the shoulders. Ball two. Just off the plate. Ball three. It's a line drive short. Duffy's there and he's got it. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 5 here in Detroit. Tigers 2, Indians nothing. For the Indians, it'll be the top of the order in the 6th. Del Unser leads off. He's 1 for 2. He singled back in the 3rd. The 1-0 pitch. He hits a fly ball into right field. K-Line's drifting back. He's near the wall, and he's got it. 1 out. That brings up Chris Chambliss. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the 1st. The 3-1 pitch. Popped it up on the infield. Rodriguez is there, and he's got it. 2 outs. And that brings up Greg Nettles, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. The 2-1 pitch. Grounder to second. McAuliffe's there. He throws him out. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland. In the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Detroit 2, Cleveland nothing. Bill Freehan leads off for Detroit in the 6th. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the 4th. The 1-0 pitch. Fly ball into left field. McCraw is going back. He's at the wall. That's gone. Home run. Home run number 3 for Bill Freehan. Tigers increase their lead to 3-0. Mickey Stanley's up. He is 1 for 2 with a double. He doubled back in the 2nd. The 1-0 pitch. Liner to short. Duffy's right there, and he's got it. 1 out. That brings up Ed Brinkman, who's 0 for 2. Here's a pair of flyouts to Del Unser. The 0-2 pitch. Pops it up on the infield. Nettles calls for it. He's got it. 2 outs. Here's the pitcher, Tom Timmerman. He's 2 for 2. Singled in the 3rd, then he singled in the 4th, and that drove in 2 runs. Drove in K-Line and Brown. The 0-2 pitch. Sharp grounder up the middle. Duffy to his left. Has it. Throws him out. 3 outs. But the Tigers get 1 run on Bill Freehan's home run. 1 hit, no errors, no one left. We played 6 here in Detroit. Detroit 3, Cleveland nothing. Detroit has 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. They've left 6 men on base. Cleveland has no runs, 2 hits, no errors. They've left 3 men on base. Tigers had the bases loaded with 2 outs in the 4th, and the pitcher Tom Timmerman came up, and he crossed everything up by hitting a single and driving in 2 runs. Driving in K-Line and Brown. That was his 2nd hit of the game. And then in the 6th inning, Bill Freehan led off with a solo home run. Top of the 7th for the Indians, it's the heart of the order. McCraw, Duffy, and Bell. Tom McCraw is 0 for 2 today. He's a 6-game hitting streak going on. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball in the right field. Al K-Line's there, and he's got it. 1 out. Here's Frank Duffy. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. He has a 10-game hitting streak going on. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on a changeup. Duffy got crossed up there. And that'll bring up Buddy Bell. He's 0 for 2 today. Hits a grounder to second. McAuliffe is there. Throws him out. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland in the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is Detroit 3, Cleveland nothing. Looks like we're getting a good look at why Tom Timmerman was moved to the starting rotation. He had some trouble with his control in the first 2 innings. And he has really settled down. Also induced double plays in the first and second inning. And he hasn't given up a hit since the 3rd inning. And the last Indians base runner was in the 5th when Fossey walked. Go around the league again. Top of the 6th in New York. Mets lead the Phillies 4-2. Willie Mays hit his 2nd home run for the Mets. That's still McAndrew versus Carlton. Top of the 6th in Pittsburgh. Expos lead the Pirates 5-1. It's Carl Morton against Bob Moose. Bottom of the 5th at Yankee Stadium. Red Sox lead the Yankees 3-2. That's still Culp against Stottlemyre. Top of the 4th in Kansas City, the suddenly struggling Oakland A's and the surging Kansas City Royals. Royals are in worked their way into first place in the American League West this week. There's no score there. That's Joe Horland for Oakland and Dick Drago for Kansas City. Top of the 4th in Texas, Twins and Rangers, no score. That's Dick Woodson against Bill Gogoleski. Minnesota and Texas will be the game of the week this weekend. Minnesota, another American League West team that's surging right now. The Royals, Angels, and Twins are all hot while the A's are slumping. Bottom of the 3rd in St. Louis, Cardinals lead the Cubs 1-0. That's Dan McGinn against Bob Gibson. Gibson's looking for win number 6. He's tied with Phil Niekro of the Braves and Jim Hunter of the A's with 5 victories. Top of the 3rd at Comiskey Park. White Sox lead the Red Hot Angels 2-1. That's Nolan Ryan against Tom Bradley. And top of the 4th in Milwaukee, the Orioles and Brewers, no score. That's Jim Palmer against Jim Lonborg. Bottom of the 7th for Detroit will be the top of the order. McAuliffe, Rodriguez, and Cash. Dick McAuliffe is 0 for 2, and he was hit by a pitch. He grounded into a double play in the 3rd. 2-1 pitch. Base hit in the right center. That is hit number 9 for Detroit. Here's Orlando Rodriguez. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the 3rd. Fastball. Hit the corner. Strike 1. Curveball. He fouls it back. Strike 2. Below the knees. Ball 1. Grounder up the middle. Base hit. He rounds first. He's going for second. He slides. He's safe with a double. That puts runners at second and 3rd. Nobody out. Cleveland has Denny Riddleberger warming up. Norm Cash, he's 1 for 2 with a single. He was hit by a pitch, and they're going to intentionally walk him. Huh? No, they're not. Now they are. My stupid computer has the worst keyboard ever. That'll load the bases for L. Kaline. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. He grounded into a double play in the first. They're bringing the infield in. He's 0 for 1 with the bases loaded. Ball 1. Fossey throws down to first, but Cash is back safely. Strike 1 called on a curveball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hard hit grounder. Chambliss has it. Throws to the plate. For 1 to first. Double play. 3-2-3 double play. Let's watch that one again. That worked out perfectly for Cleveland. Chambliss makes a play, and he's able to get back to first. That is the 3rd double play for the Indians today. That brings up Gates Brown. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the 4th. He singled in the 4th, and he came around and scored. He's hitting .333 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Low and outside, ball 1. Got the inside corner, strike 1. High and outside, ball 2. Swing and a miss on a changeup, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners on second and third. Up around the letters, ball 3. Ball 4. 3rd walk given up by Tidrow. Here comes Aspromonte. That's going to be all for Dick Tidrow. Denny Riddleberger will be in the pitch. He's making his 8th appearance of the season. He's 2-0 with 1 save. He has an ERA of 5.91. In 10 2/3 innings, he's given up 11 hits. 1 of those is a home run. He walked 6. He struck out 4. Riddleberger came over from Washington/Texas along with Del Unser. Bill Freehan, he's 2 for 3. He singled in the 4th, and then he had a solo home run in the 6th. That was a fastball, strike 1. Riddleberger's a hard-throwing left-hander. Outside, ball 1. Another one outside, ball 2. Ball 3. He's throwing some heat, and he is just missing. It's fly ball in the center field. Unser going back. He's at the wall. That's off the wall. Rodriguez scores. Cash scores. Brown scores. It's 6-0 Detroit. Freehan cleared the bases with that double. That closes the book on Dick Tidrow.
He went 6 2/3 innings. He gave up 10 hits, 6 runs, 1 home run, walked 3, struck out 4. Tidros seems like he is alternating a good performance with a bad performance this year. His first 2 appearances, he got roughed up. Then he had 2 good appearances. Then he got roughed up again. He had a great appearance his last time against Texas, and today just didn't have it. That brings up Mickey Stanley, who is 1 for 3 with a double. Pops it up third base side, but that's foul. Billy Martin's got to be happy tonight that the bats are swinging pretty well today. High and in, ball 1. It's a liner into left field. McCraw's there, and he's got it. 3 outs. But it's a big inning for Detroit. They get 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors. They left 1 man on base. We go to the 8th inning in Detroit. It is the Tigers 6. Cleveland nothing. This is WJST, Parma, Norwich, and Tuscaloosa. It'll be the bottom of the order for Cleveland in the 8th. Fosse, Brohammer, and the pitcher spot. Ray Fosse is 0 for 1 today with a walk. He grounded it into a double play in the 2nd. The 0-1 pitch, changeup, grounder to short. Brinkman has it. Throws him out. 1 out. That brings up Jack Brohammer. He's 0 for 2 today. The 1-1 pitch. It's a grounder to second. McAuliffe's there. He's got it. 2 outs. Pinch hitting for Cleveland will be Fred Stanley. Fred Stanley got called up to the Indians early last season. Was going great for them. Then he had to leave for about, I think, 3 weeks of military reserve duty. He came back and he just could not get back on track after he came back from that. And he's been kind of one of the forgotten men on the Indians bench this year, along with John Lowenstein and Lou Camilli. Stanley is 2 for 9 on the season with 1 double. He's hitting .333 as a pinch hitter. I remember first pack of baseball cards I ever bought with my own money, 1972. Fred Stanley was in that pack. I don't remember anybody else who was in that pack, but I remember Fred Stanley because he was a member of the Indians. Steve Mangori's warming up in the bullpen for Cleveland. He'll be out in the 8th inning. The 1-2 pitch. Grounder to short. Brinkman has it and throws him out. Nothing across for Cleveland in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Detroit 6, Cleveland nothing. Now pitching for Cleveland, Steve Mangori. This is his 8th appearance of the year. He is 1-0. 5 innings pitched. He's given up 5 hits. One of those a home run. He walked 8, struck out 2. He's an ERA of 1.80. He throws really hard, but He has not mastered his control yet. He's probably the hardest thrower on Indian staff right now, with Sam McDowell gone. For the Tigers in the 8th, it will be Brinkman, the pitcher spot, and McAuliffe. Ed Brinkman is 0 for 3 today. Full count. Base hit in the right field. Bell tosses it back in. Oh, Timmerman's coming back up. He's 2 for 3. He bunts it. Mingori has it, throws him out. Brinkman takes second on the sacrifice. I was not expecting that. I thought they were going to pinch hit for him. Timmerman's 2 for 3, and he drove in 2 runs with it. 4th inning single. That brings up Dick McAuliffe. He's 1 for 3, and he was hit by a pitch. Oh, they're calling him back. Willie Horton, a pinch hit. Willie Horton hitting .233, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in. He's hitting .500 as a pinch hitter. Willie Horton is probably the single most popular member of the Detroit Tigers. The authorities in 1968 were begging him to come out and try to help calm down crowds during the Detroit riots in 1968, which he did do. He's 2 for 4 as a pinch hitter. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. That fastball hit 96. I don't think I've seen a fastball hit 100 yet this year. Curveball, too high, ball 1. I haven't seen Nolan Ryan pitch. And the Dodgers had a pitcher who was routinely hitting 100 last year. I think it was Jose Pena, and he's in the minor leagues right now. Low, ball 2. Fouls it back, strike 1. Or strike 2, I'm sorry. Hits a slow roller to third. Nettles has it. And he's just going to hold the ball. Brinkman takes third. We have runners at the corners. 1 out. And here's Aurelio Rodriguez. He's 2 for 4 with a double. He doubled and scored in the 7th. Fly ball down the left field line. That's foul. Inside, just off the ground. Ball 1. High and outside. Ball 2. It's a shallow fly ball in the left field. McCraw coming in. Duffy going back. McCraw has it. Brinkman holds. 2 outs. McCraw has probably the worst arm of all the Indians outfielders. But they still weren't running on him. And Brinkman's not exactly the fastest guy in the league. That brings up Norm Cash. He's 1 for 2 with a double. Down and inside, ball 1. Popped it up, third base side. Looking ahead to the 9th, it'll be the top of the order for Cleveland. Way out, ball 2. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Strike 2 called on a curveball. Full count, 2 outs. Here's the payoff pitch. It's a fly ball in the right field. Buddy Bell's there, and he's got it. Great play, dove for it. Would have made a better call on that if I saw it live, I guess. I noticed that happens a lot in Tiger Stadium, where plays on the screen look like they're going to be routine, and then find out it's a great play. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. We go to the 9th inning. It is Detroit 6, Cleveland nothing. Del Unser leads off for the Indians. He is 1 for 3. Timmerman is going for his second complete game of the season. The 2-1 pitch. Pops it up. Free hands under it. He's got it. 1 out. Here's Chris Chambliss. He is 1 for 3 today. He has a single. The 1-2 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Brinkman to his left has it. Throws it out. Brinkman made a nice play on that slow roller. Cleveland's down to their last out. Here's Greg Nettles, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. That's the game. Detroit had 6 runs, 13 hits, no errors. They left 9 men on base. Cleveland had no runs, 2 hits, no errors. They left 3 men on base. Tom Timmerman in a complete game shutout gets the win. He's 2 and 3, while Dick Tidrow drops to 2 and 4. Word coming from the clubhouse. Freehan apparently got his hand hit somehow. And they're saying he may be out for about 2 weeks. He didn't have to leave the game. Oh, and I had forgotten to mention that after Willie Horton pinch hit for Dick McAuliffe, that Tony Taylor took over at second base. And Freehan was the hitting star of the game. He went 3 for 4 with a home run. And he had 4 RBIs. He had a solo home run in the 6th, and then with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the 7th, he had a double that cleared the bases. Timmerman, boy, what a performance he had. He struggled with his control a little bit in the first and second innings, but he had a double play in each one. He didn't give up a hit past the 3rd. He gave up a hit in the 1st inning, a hit in the 3rd inning. Walked a batter in the 5th. That was the 3rd walk he gave up, and then he retired. Let's see, 3. He retired the last 14 batters that he faced after that. He looked like he was having very little trouble. Norm Cash was busy. He made 12 putouts today, while Dick McAuliffe and Ed Brinkman each made 5 assists. So he was probably helped by having good defense behind him. Even though the Indians lost, this wasn't a bad game. Even at the ballpark, I mean, even if the Indians lose, I can still appreciate like a good pitching performance or a good hitting performance by somebody on the other team. And Timmerman was in such control that was having a hard time seeing him like really doing anything wrong. I was a little surprised that he came out for the ninth inning, but Billy Martin knew what he was doing, and Timmerman went 2 for 3 as well with hitting and drove in the other 2 runs with a single when runners were on second and third in the fourth. That was also with 2 outs. Timmerman is the star of the game today. Time of this game was 2 hours and 32 minutes. So a pretty quick game on Friday night. They'll probably have to plug in a rerun of one of the CBS shows before the local news. If the people in Cleveland are lucky, it might be the Mary Tyler Moore Show. They go watch the antics of Ted Baxter. And then a little later on tonight, the local news. And the big double feature on Houlihan and Big Chuck tonight. Strangers at Sunrise at midnight and Dennis in a Chair at 2 a.m. I'm not sure what they would have had on earlier. I remember Houlihan and Big Chuck always being at 11:30. Well, it says 11:40 here. And they must have scheduled it later because of the game, so maybe it'll start earlier. At this point, I was still too young to stay up that late and watch it. Even though kids my age were doing it, my parents were not the kind of parents that were letting me stay up at all hours of the night on a Friday night, even though it wasn't a school night. We'll be coming from Tiger Stadium for both the Saturday and Sunday game this weekend, along with the game of the week, be Minnesota versus Texas. And those games will be delayed for a couple days because I have to take a trip out of town. So I'll be back as soon as I can. Once again, the final score is Detroit 6, Cleveland nothing. I hope you enjoyed this game, and thank you for watching.